Welcome back, grade 10s, to another amazing video because we love maths. Alright, so let's look at this. Alright, so we are going to do today, we're going to do some quadratic equations. Okay, so in my linear equations video, I explained a little bit what quadratic means. Okay, so basically what's going to happen, so remember in linear equations, okay, I only had x's, okay, or y's, or just z's, okay, but the power was always 1, 1, 1, okay. Now I'm going to have something a little bit different, okay. Now I'm going to have squares, okay, squares, quadratic equations. So there's only one of two things that this could be, okay. So either we're going to end up with a trinomial, okay, that's number one, okay, or I'm going to end up with common factors. Okay, so those are my two options that I'm going to end up with. Alright, so let's dive straight into it. Okay, so what does this mean? Just ask that question straight up. What does this mean? Okay, we've got a times b equals 0. What does that mean? So for this to be true, for this statement over here on my left hand side to be true, okay, and it has to equal 0, what does a or b have to be? What is anything times 0? 0. Okay, so that means that a can't be 1 and b can't be 2. Why not? Because 1 times 2 is 2. It's not 0. So what does a or b have to be? 0. One of them has to be 0. Either a has to be 0. Okay, so 0 times 2, for example, okay, is 0. Or b has to be 0. So if a is 2 and b is 0, we've got 2 times 0, which is 0. So either a must equal 0 or b must equal 0. Okay? So for 0 to end up here, am I right? And I'm busy multiplying. Can you see I've got something multiplying here? This is one term. One term, people. Alright? Something multiplied by something equals 0. Either that is 0, or the other thing is being multiplied is 0. Alright, does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you guys. Alright, so let's look at this. How many terms do I have here on my left hand side? Okay, if you said 2, I want you to slap yourself in the face quickly. I just want you to wake yourself up quickly. Alright, just slap yourself in the face. Alright, because I only have one term here. This as a whole is one term. Okay, because I've got to multiply here. That's one term. Inside this bracket, there's two terms. But I'm talking about the outside of this bracket. I'm talking about this as a whole. Okay, that's one term. Okay, so I've got one term, something being multiplied by something, and it's equaling 0. Okay, so the one something, so either a has to equal 0, or the other thing that's being multiplied, okay, must be 0. So this whole thing must be 0. Okay, but I want to know what the value of b is. Okay, I know what the value of a is. A is 0. Okay, but I don't know what the value of b is here. Can I solve for b here? I want to know that value. What must b be? What must b be? What must be the value of b be for this to be 0? For this bracket to be 0? Okay, I'm just going to take the 1 across. Solve for b. Okay, equals 1. Okay, so now let's look. Okay, so if a is 0, I've got 0 times, doesn't matter what this is. 0 times anything is 0. Fantastic. Alright, but now if b is 1, so I've got b, which is 1, minus 1. What is 1 minus 1? 0. So now 0 times anything, 0. Okay, do you see why we solve for b there? Okay, so we can get to 0 here. Okay, hoping that's making sense. Okay, so either a is equal to 0, or the other thing, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is equal to 0. Okay, but that only works when I've got one term. Alright, so moving on here. Alright, so now, can you see I've got one term equaling 0. So, some of you guys' natural response, okay, when you see brackets like this, you say, oh, okay, I'm going to multiply out, so, okay, you're making life difficult for yourself. Stop it. Get some help. That's why you're watching these videos. Alright, so, if you're looking at this, alright, what's my clue here? My clue that this is a quadratic equation, my clue is that I've got two brackets multiplied equaling 0. That's my clue, okay, that this is a quadratic equation, right? So what does this mean? What does this mean? I've got two things, bracket times a bracket, and it equals 0. What does this mean? Tell me. Okay, either the first thing equals 0. I don't care what it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, equals 0. Or the other thing. Okay, the other thing, doesn't matter what it is, whatever the thing is, equals 0. Okay, they're busy multiplying. Okay, bracket multiplied by bracket equals 0. Okay, either the one thing equals 0 or the other thing equals 0. Okay, but now I want to know the value of x. Okay, solve for x. Solve for x. I want to know the value. Give it to me. X equals 1 or x equals -2. Fantastic. Right, now let's go check ourselves. Okay, let's see if these brackets give us 0 now. Okay, so if x is 1, all right, so I've got 1 minus 1, and I've got 1 plus 2. Right, so if x is 1, then I'm just going to substitute in for x. Okay, so 1 minus 1, which is 0, multiplied by 1 plus 2, 3. 0 times 3, 0. Fantastic. Alright, but now, what if we said that x was -2? Okay, so let's try. Let's substitute. Okay, so x equals -2 minus 1. Okay, and x was -2 plus 2. Right, let's see what this gives us. This gives us -3. Okay. Multiplied by, what's -2 plus 2? 0. 0. And what is -3 times 0? 0. Okay, cool. So I've checked myself and I'm right. Okay, all these values of x are correct. Okay, I'm hoping that makes sense, guys. Okay, so either my clue, something bracket times something bracket, okay, or it can be a letter multiplied by a bracket, or it can be a letter times a letter. Okay, equals 0, equals 0. That's my clue. My clue. Whew, okay, I hope you guys are getting this. Okay, so let's look at this now. Oh, this is where it starts getting a little bit interesting. Alright, so firstly, right, I've got another clue here. Right, so remember in the beginning of this video, I said I'm going to end up with a trinomial or a common factor or something. Okay, how do I know that this is a quadratic equation? Okay, how do I know immediately that this is a quadratic equation? Remember I said linear equations and the quadratic equations are a little bit different. There's something different. Okay, linear equations, we only had x's or just y's. Okay, but for quadratic equations, we have x squares. Okay, so now we've got an x squared. Fantastic. Now I'm gonna take everything across, because I know that quadratic equations always has something on the left equals 0. Okay, equals 0. All these quadratic equations, something on the left equals 0. Something on the left equals 0. Something on the left equals 0. All these quadratic equations. Okay, so I need to get something on the left equals 0. So I'm going to take all this stuff across. Okay, so I've got x squared minus 2x minus 8. I'm taking everything across that side, and I'm left with 0 on the side. Okay, cool. So I've established it's a quadratic equation. I know what I'm doing, right? So I've taken everything across, and I've got the 0 part. Okay, but what else do I need for a quadratic equation? I need a 0. Okay, number 1. Okay, number 2, I need something multiplied by something. Remember? Something times something. Something times something. Something times something. Can you guys see the pattern? Can you guys see the pattern? Please, can you see the pattern? Alright? So I've got the 0. I don't have something times something, but I know what this is. What is this? This is a trinomial. 3 terms. X squared. Come on. Alright. So when I open up my brackets, okay, before I even put stuff in there, can you see I've got something, bracket, multiplied by bracket. I've got a 0. 0, something times something. Fantastic. Right, now I'm getting into my quadratic stuff. Right, so x and x go in the front. That minus tells me plus and minus. Alright, now I need the factors of 8 that are going to be negative 2. Going to be 4 and 2. Fantastic. Alright, if you don't know what I'm doing here, go watch my factorizing videos, please. Alright, and go and master your trinomials. Alright, now, okay, I've got something times something equals 0. Oh, something times something equals 0. What does it mean? Either the one something, I don't care what it is, either that one something equals 0, or the other something equals 0. Okay, but what am I solving? I'm solving for x. Fantastic. Right, I know how to do that. Take the 2 across. X equals negative 2, or x is equal to positive 4. Fantastic. Right, then you can check yourself. Okay, if x is negative 2, negative 2 plus 2, okay, that's 0. 0 times anything is 0. Fantastic. Alright, if it's 4, we've got 4 plus 2, which is 6, and 4 minus 4, oh, that's 0. 0 times anything is 0. Okay, so what's my clue here, guys? Quadratic equations, right? X squared, okay? Or something times something, 0, okay? Yeah, I don't have something times something, but I see I've got an x squared quadratic equation immediately, all right? Quadratic equation, I know I need 0 and something times something, okay? So I take everything across, I get my 0, that's number 1, okay? Then I've got something times something when I factorize my trinomial, and then that something equals 0, the other something equals 0, and we solve. Okay, I'm hoping that makes sense to you guys. Okay, I'm hoping you guys are getting the pattern, you guys are seeing it. Alright, so let's look at the next example here. Ooh, okay, I've got something times something, fantastic. Alright, but do I have a 0? No, I don't. Okay, so now there's something that I need to do differently here. Okay, I don't know if this is a quadratic equation. I don't know because it doesn't satisfy my rules. Okay, it doesn't satisfy my rules here. All right, so I don't have a 0, but I have something times something. Okay, but that I need both of these for it to be a quadratic equation. Okay, and I also don't see any x squares. Oh no, okay, I don't see any x squares. Okay, so I'm going to treat this as if it's a linear equation. Okay, so what did I do with linear equations? What did I do? I simplified. Okay, so let's simplify this. Let's see what we get. Okay, so 2x times x is 2x squared. Okay, now take note. Okay, now we've got 2x times positive 2. Okay, sorry, let me just get some shortcuts here. Okay, so 2x times 2 is 4x minus x, positive 3x, right? And then we've got minus 1 times positive 2. Minus 2 equals minus 2. All right. Okay, now I've treated this as a linear equation, but now I see something. Now I'm not quite sure if it's a linear equation anymore. Why not? Because I see this. I see I've got an x squared. Oh, immediately I see it's an x squared. All right. What do I see? What do I know? quadratic equation. Okay, quadratic equation means what? I need 0, right? I need 0 and I need something times something. Okay, I don't have something times something anymore. And I don't have a 0. How am I going to get a 0? Take him across. Fantastic. All right. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 3x minus 2 plus 2 equals 0. Okay, I've got my 0. Fantastic. Let me simplify here. What, 2x squared plus 3x negative 2 plus 2, 0 equals 0. All right. Okay, I don't have a trinomial here though. Okay. Remember in the beginning of the video, I said you can get one of two things. Either you're going to get a trinomial, or you're going to get common factor. Alright, so I've got an x squared there and an x there. Let's take out a common factor. X, what's left? 2x plus 3. Amazing. Alright, do I have something times something? X times a bracket. Fantastic. Do I have a 0? Yes. Alright, now I can do what I always do. We say something times something equals 0. That means what? This something equals 0, or the other something equals 0. Alright, so with that being said, now I can just solve for x. Yeah, I solved for x already. Solving for x. I solved for x. Alright, x is equal to 0. Yeah, I need to solve for x. Okay, so now I need to take across my 3 becomes minus 3. And over here, let me just finish here. Right, I want to divide by whatever's in front of x, okay, because I'm multiplying here. So x is equal to negative 3 over 2. Alright, can you guys see that? Okay, so yeah, I didn't see any x squares, I didn't see any zeros. Okay, so I treated it like a linear equation. Simplified. Ooh, I see an x squared now. Ooh, quadratic equation. Okay, what do I need? I need a 0. Boom. I need something times something. Okay, I'm going to get it here. I'm going to factorize something times something. One something equals 0. Other something equals 0. Okay, I hope that's making sense, guys. Okay, your clues is your x squares, your 0, and something times something. Okay, those are your clues. Right. Now, one more for us. One more. Alright, so I see now fractions. I see fractions. Ding, ding, ding. First thing I think of when I see fractions. Before I don't even care what's happening there. Right, what must I do? LCD. Okay, so this is over 1. This is over 1, and I've got an x. What's my LCD? X. What I do on one side, I do to the other side. Okay, what I do to x to get to x? Nothing. This stays the same. Fantastic. What I do to 1 to get to x? I times by x. So x times x, x squared. Okay, what I do to 1 to get to x? Times by x. What's 7 times x? 7x. Amazing. Alright, I don't like that LCD. I don't want it there anymore. Okay, what am I going to do to get rid of it? Multiply by x, multiply by x. Cancel, 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 cancel. Goodbye. And I've got x squared minus 7x equals 30. Okay, let me stop right there. Okay, I see something. Whoa, 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 whoa. I see something. Ding, ding, ding. I see something. X squared. What does this mean? Quadratic equation. Fantastic. All right, so what do I need? I need 0. How am I going to get 0? X squared minus 7x. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Take it over. Minus 30. Okay, whew. I've got my 0. All right. Second thing, what do I need? Something times something. All right. How am I going to get that here? What is this? Oh, what is that? I see it's a trinomial. Okay, so we've got trinomials. Fantastic. Right. So I'm going to open up here. Right. And that's equal to 0. Now I've got x and x. Okay. Now I need to get the factors of 30. They're going to give me 7. Okay. What are the factors of 30? We've got 1 and 30. Okay. We've got 2 and 15. What else do we have? We've got 3 and 10. Alright, okay, I'm going to stop right there. Because I see, ooh, this is looking nice. Alright, 3 and 10 could definitely give me 7. Alright, so let's look there. We've got a plus, we've got a minus, Okay, and we've got minus 10 and plus 3. Alright, so please, when you've got big numbers like this, guys, don't be scared to write out your factors and do stuff like that. Okay, it's going to take a long time before you can, and a lot of examples before you can just do it in your head quick. Okay, now I've got a 0. Fantastic. Do I have something times something? Looking scrumptious. Alright, so we've got something equals 0, or other thing equals 0. Alright, so what am I going to do here? I need to solve for x. Okay, so x is equal to negative 3. Okay, or x is equal to positive 10. Alright, okay, I hope this is valuable to you guys. I hope that you guys are understanding. Okay, please comment down in the comment section if there's anything that you guys need re-explained or explained in a different way. I'll try my best with regards to your comments and things. But if it's been helpful for you, please give it a like. And yeah, please subscribe. Alright, okay.